The year is 1869. In the bustling heart of New York, a colossal engineering dream hung in the balance, a bridge to span the mighty East River, connecting Brooklyn and Manhattan.
It was an undertaking of unprecedented scale, fraught with peril and technological unknowns.
At its helm was the brilliant yet tragically fated John A. Roebling. But when a pier accident claimed his life, the dream might have died with him, had it not been for the extraordinary grit and sacrifice of his son, Washington Augustus Roebling.
This man, with the steely gaze of a visionary, inherited not just a project, but a personal crusade.
The bridge, now known as the Brooklyn Bridge, would demand everything from him, including his very health, forcing him to oversee its completion from a distance, paralyzed by a mysterious affliction that it claimed other workers, and revealing a hidden story of quiet determination and an unsung hero, his wife, Emily Roebling.
The construction of the Brooklyn Bridge was a grueling 17-year endeavor. As the massive stone towers began to rise, like ancient cathedrals, they hid a dark secret beneath the waves. To lay the foundations for these colossal structures, workers descended into massive timber caissons, open-bottomed boxes filled with compressed air to keep out the water. Here, in the suffocating high-pressure environment, men toiled, digging down to bedrock.
It was this pioneering use of pneumatic caissons that gave birth to a terrifying new occupational hazard, caisson disease, or the bends.
The agonizing, sometimes fatal, condition struck scores of workers, crippling them upon their return to normal atmospheric pressure.
Among its most prominent victims was Washington Roebling himself.
Struck down in 1872, he would spend the rest of his life observing the bridge's progress, often with telescopes and mirrors from his bed or a nearby window. The weight of the project now falling heavily on his wife, Emily, who became his eyes and ears on the ground, masterfully relaying his instructions.
From the perilous depths of the caissons, the construction ascended to the monumental task of spinning the bridge's 4 main cables, each a staggering 15 3/4 inches in diameter.
This was a painstaking process, involving thousands of individual steel wires, a revolutionary material for such a massive suspension bridge. Here on the Brooklyn side, in October of 1878, officials and workmen carefully inspect the cable anchorage where the colossal tension of these wires would be securely fastened to immense masonry blocks.
The precision was paramount, as these cables, a web of steel, would be the very sinews holding the entire structure aloft, bearing the colossal weight of the roadway and all who traversed it.
This stage of construction was also perilous, with men working at dizzying heights, often without the safety precautions we take for granted today. Each strand laid was a testament to human ingenuity and raw courage.
Finally, after 14 years of unyielding toil, countless lives lost, and the physical sacrifice of its chief engineer, the Brooklyn Bridge was complete.
Newspaper headlines across the country, like this one from May 24, 1883, heralded its opening as the completion of the Great Bridge. The public euphoria was immense.
This wasn't just a bridge, it was a modern wonder, a symbol of American ambition and engineering prowess that connected 2 of the era's largest cities, Brooklyn and Manhattan.
On opening day, flags flew, bands played, and President Chester Arthur, alongside New York Governor Grover Cleveland, led a grand procession across the bridge.
Thousands upon thousands of citizens followed, marveling at the towering Gothic arches and the sweeping steel cables, eager to be among the first to cross this architectural triumph that had previously seemed an impossible dream.
In the years immediately following its grand opening, the Brooklyn Bridge swiftly became an integral part of New York City life and an icon of progress.
Pedestrians strolled along its elevated promenade, enjoying unparalleled views of the skyline and the bustling East River below.
It transformed daily commutes, making the once arduous journey between Brooklyn and Manhattan a pleasant, scenic walk. The bridge initially charged a toll, a penny for pedestrians, 5 cents for a horse and rider, and 10 cents for a horse and wagon. But even with the cost, people flocked to it.
It was more than just a means of transport. It was a destination, a place where people gathered, admired, and truly felt the pulse of a rapidly expanding city.
The bridge became a powerful symbol not only of engineering marvel, but of the burgeoning spirit of a modern metropolis.
More than a century later, the Brooklyn Bridge remains an enduring monument and a vital artery for New York City.
At sunset on a brisk November evening in 2022, its iconic silhouette, topped with the American flag, still draws throngs of people.
Cyclists, commuters, and tourists alike continue to traverse its historic wooden planks, just as they have for over 140 years.
The elegant Gothic arches and intricate web of cables, once a marvel of innovation, now stand as a testament to timeless design and structural integrity.
It continues to be one of the most beloved and instantly recognizable landmarks in the world, a constant presence in the ever-evolving cityscape, perpetually connecting the past with the present.
The bridge's enduring strength and symbolic power were never more evident than on September 11, 2001.
In the wake of the devastating attacks on the World Trade Center, as thick plumes of smoke billowed across the Manhattan skyline, the Brooklyn Bridge transformed from a mere thoroughfare into a lifeline. With subways halted and downtown engulfed in chaos, thousands of New Yorkers, covered in dust and shock, streamed across the bridge, fleeing the destruction and seeking refuge in Brooklyn.
It was a raw, heartbreaking display of human resilience as people walked shoulder to shoulder, a desperate exodus across a structure built to connect, but now serving as the ultimate escape route.
On that day, the bridge became a silent witness, a symbol of hope and survival amidst unimaginable tragedy, steadfastly carrying the weight of a traumatized city. Beyond its role in crisis, the Brooklyn Bridge has also long served as a powerful stage for social change.
On March 1, 1964, hundreds of demonstrators marched across its span, converging from different boroughs, on their way to the Board of Education offices in Brooklyn.
They were demanding improved educational facilities for Puerto Ricans in the city's school system, highlighting systemic inequalities.
The bridge, connecting communities and offering a visible, public route, has historically been a potent symbol for protests, serving as a conduit for voices seeking justice and reform, drawing attention to their causes by traversing this iconic link between two worlds. Just over a year later, on July 17, 1965, the Brooklyn Bridge again bore witness to the fervent calls for civil rights.
Members of the Congress of Racial Equality, or CORE, marched across its planks into Manhattan, heading towards police headquarters.
Their protest was a direct response to the fatal shooting of a black man by a rookie patrolman in Brooklyn's Bedford-Stuyvesant section. The bridge's unique position, linking diverse neighborhoods, naturally made it a crucial route for such demonstrations, amplifying the message that fundamental freedoms and fair treatment were not confined to any single borough, but were rights that demanded recognition across the entire city. This tradition of protest on the bridge continued into the 21st century, underscoring its enduring role as a public forum for dissent. On June 4, 2020, a sea of protesters, many holding signs calling for justice and systemic change, marched across the Brooklyn Bridge following a rally in Cadman Plaza Park.
Their unified voices echoed the global outrage over the death of George Floyd and the urgent need for police reform.
The bridge, a timeless connection between people and places, once again became a powerful conduit for collective action, a symbol of unity, and a testament to the ongoing struggle for civil rights in America.
The Brooklyn Bridge is not only a conduit for social change and a symbol of resilience, but also a crucial part of New York's daily rhythm, especially when that rhythm is disrupted.
On April 1st, 1980, the city's 350,000 transit workers went on strike, bringing subways and buses to a grinding halt.
Millions of commuters were suddenly forced to find alternative means of transportation.
Many, like these individuals carrying their bicycles, turned to the Brooklyn Bridge.
For 11 grueling days, the bridge became a bustling pedestrian and cycling highway, a testament to its indispensable role as a critical link when other urban arteries seize up.
It highlighted how this grand 19th century structure was and remains utterly essential to the functioning of a modern city.
Maintaining such a colossal and indispensable structure is an unending task. On July 26, 1929, workers could be seen high above the East River, suspended precariously on the bridge's massive cables. Their job? Painting, a ceaseless battle against the elements to protect the bridge's intricate steelwork. This ongoing maintenance is a quiet testament to the thousands of dedicated individuals who, through the decades, have worked to preserve this engineering marvel. Their labor ensures the bridge remains safe and functional, a continuous effort that mirrors the initial, painstaking construction and the unwavering commitment required to keep the Brooklyn Bridge standing strong for generations. The sheer scale and unique architecture of the Brooklyn Bridge also make it an ideal location for specialized training and emergency preparedness.
Here on September 18, 2000, New York City Police Department Emergency Service Unit officers participated in a daring rescue training exercise atop the bridge.
Silhouetted against the sky, they navigate the dizzying heights of the main cables, practicing maneuvers that could one day save lives.
This highlights the multifaceted role of the bridge in the city's infrastructure, not just as a pathway for commerce and communication, but also as a critical piece of urban landscape where the city's protectors hone their skills in the most challenging of environments.
Yet, for all its structural integrity and civic importance, the Brooklyn Bridge also held a dangerous allure.
On July 23, 1886, just 3 years after its opening, a man named Robert Emmett Odlum, a swimming instructor from Washington, D.C.,
decided to test the impossible.
Defying warnings and police presence, Odlum leaped from the bridge's 200-foot deck, a desperate attempt to prove the human body could survive such a fall.
Despite being a seasoned athlete, he died tragically moments later from internal injuries, becoming the first person to jump from the bridge.
His death was a stark reminder of the bridge's raw power and the dangers it presented, both in its construction and its existence.
The Brooklyn Bridge stands today not just as an engineering marvel, but as a silent monument to the human stories etched into its very fabric. Stories of ambition, of sacrifice, of triumph, and of tragedy, reflecting the very essence of the city it continues to serve after more than 140 years.